Hello, sports fans, and welcome to Slaughterhouse Wrestling 7 Meet Sweats. We are bringing you live pay-per-view wrestling action here from the Bonds America Memorial Auditorium in Orlando, Florida, in front of 1,100 screaming slaughter maniacs. As always, I am your commentator, Ernest Tate. Gigi Island is here with me. Gigi, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, E.T. How are you doing?
Doing absolutely fantastic. Excited for yet another week of Slaughterhouse wrestling action here in the Impact Zone. I did hear the Bonds America Memorial Auditorium. Totally slipped there. We welcome all the fans here. We have 7 matches for Slaughterhouse 7. 7 action-packed matches. 2 title challenges tonight, Gigi. And then we are also crowning the Hardcore Champion. Our first ever Hardcore Champion here in the culmination, the final match of the Hardcore title tournament. We have Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi of the Bankrollers taking on Tyler Blades. How are you feeling about this one, Gigi?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I'm about excited as someone can be about a hardcore match. You know, blood and guts are going to be flying all over this stage. Tyler Blades and Ricky Big Bucks are the two completely different stories. You know, Tyler Blades kind of coming back, you know, disappearing for a little while from Slaughterhouse action, coming back and ready to roll, starting off and winning his matches in the hardcore title tournament. And Ricky Big Bucks, on the other hand, bankroller, hadn't had much success, all of a sudden turned it around after he grew his hair out. That looks like it's about all it takes for him to kind of find that inner strength. And hopefully he doesn't get too much of Tyler Blades' inner strength with that claw of his. But otherwise, I mean, it's... I think Tyler Blades, has a pretty good chance to take him on.
Well, I do agree with you there, but we gotta talk about Rick just a little more. You said something about his hair. You said something about the claw. Before he came into this tournament, he had 0 wins to his name. Absolute 0. The Bankrollers were probably the most losingest stable here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. But Ricky spent time in that gym, grew out his hair, changed up his gear a little bit, and most importantly, learned a couple new moves. And that sort of focus, that sort of drive is what has taken him all the way to the finals. And I'm not saying that to take anything away from Tyler Blades. You're right that there is a certain strength to Tyler Blades. He is one of the most impressively muscled men here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, to put it in certain terms. And Ricky is going to have to deal with strength like he has never dealt with before. And I think he has what it takes to rise up and meet the challenge. But hey, speaking of title matches, in our semi-main event, we are going to be seeing Walnut, again a similarly muscled man. We always say Slaughterhouse is a company, of super heavyweights, taking on Victor Hill of Supreme, the leader of Supreme, finally getting his one-on-one title shot after running through 3 competitors in a 4-way match, running through Dong Michaels, Thomas Noble, and Jabroni to get his number 1 shot against Walnut. Gigi, do you think Vint has what it takes to crack the nut?
Honestly, we've seen a lot of guys come and go when it comes to Walnut. The only time we've ever seen him suffer any kind of loss was a count-out disqualification and also losing to 2 women at the same time. So, a one-on-one match against Victor Hill, who is shown to be a just insanely, talented wrestler here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, I think he might finally crack this nut here tonight.
Yeah, Gigi, it's something. Watching Vint wrestle his Smash Mouth style, the King of Burning Hearts, using that move to take out several competitors, all different sizes, shapes, whatever here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. I just don't know about this one. Walnut has been the most dominant champion we've ever seen, and Vint has actually lost a few matches. He's won a lot of matches decisively, but he has lost a few here and there, and just looking at their records, Walnut is a little more impressive. But I do agree with you that if anyone has what it takes, I think it might be Vint.
You think more than 10 minutes? You think the match will last more than 10 minutes?
That's kind of the question here, isn't it? Jabroni and Damon Sky were both able to take him to that limit. But I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna see. It might be another. Not to diss him, another Chicago Cowboy situation where we see it end in 3 or we see it end in 6. But maybe if it hits 20 minutes, we've never seen Walnut at 20 minutes. He might just collapse. We don't know. But speaking of title matches, we have one more tonight. The Exotic Husbands will be challenging Supreme. Now this one's pretty interesting, Gigi. I don't know if you know about this one, but this is a bras versus belts match. We have a new commissioner here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, Commissioner Dipshit Earl Lewis. And Dipshit, I said Dipshit Earl Lewis. It's Earl Dipshit. I'm sorry, I'm confusing so many people tonight.
He said it both ways.
Earl Dipshit definitely has done a lot for Slaughterhouse Wrestling over the years, but none more than this match type, bras versus belts. The Exotic Husbands were the only people to take Supreme to their absolute limit. Supreme has been knocking out competitors left and right, pinning competitors left and right, but they got a 20-plus minute match out of Supreme. But they are putting the one thing that Exotic Husbands cares about the most on the line, their bras, their whole identity. We've talked about it with Dom, we've talked about it with Mandy. The whole team obsessed with these things. And tonight, if they don't get the belts, they are giving those bras up, GG.
Yeah, honestly, I think both these parties, both these factions, these tag teams tonight literally have the most at stake that they've ever had. Supreme fighting another tag team from Exotic Husbands, fighting Dank and Dong, a number of pay-per-views ago, and beating them soundly. You got to think, can Mandy and Bimson bring anything to the table that Dank and Dong weren't able to do? And they have had an impressive run so far in the tag team competition, but maybe you got to think they're going to be fighting with a little something more. I mean, Dank and Dong, a storied tag team, but Mandy and Bimson here might have a little bit more, pushing them to try to take down Supreme.
Yeah, Dank and Dong a storied, but not exactly one that often. I hate to say it, but Bimson and Mandy have had a little more success in that area, so it makes sense that they would become the new tag team face of the Exotic Husbands. And we may see, the Exotic Husbands come out of this show with a lot of gold. Moving on from that, we are actually going to see 2 tag matches that we're going to talk about at the same time here, Gigi, if that's okay with you. Behold a Dark Horse. One of the most surprising parts of Slaughterhouse 6 was Behold a Dark Horse coming from behind and getting some absolutely decisive wins. They spent some time, got some new gear like we love talking about, and learned a few new wrestling tricks, and that was enough to elevate them to just that higher platform. And look, when you start winning in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, when you start getting something going, there is a target on your back, even if it's just one win. Bankrollers know that, and now Behold a Dark Horse knows that. And speaking of bankrollers, Behold a Dark Horse was called out by 2 teams consecutively, Supreme and the Bankrollers. So tonight, Behold a Dark Horse is pulling double duty, wrestling the Chicago Cowboy and Jason Waterfalls of the Bankrollers, and Jacked Punk and Hades Malachi of Supreme. Jacked Punk's debut here at Slaughterhouse Wrestling will be in one of these 2 matches. Gigi, we've never seen anyone pull a double duty here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, aside from those tournaments, which we saw what happened to Cowboy after having that many matches. But how do you think this is going to stack out for Behold a Dark Horse? Do you think they're biting off more they can chew here?
Honestly, I would think if it was any other group of guys, I would say yes. I mean, obviously, STO is the one that's pulling the double duty. He's going to be switching out. Nightmare is going to help him take on Supreme, and Black Snow is going to help him take on the Bankrollers. And, we've talked about Black Snow and the Bankrollers before, having helped them really get their first, win once we started the Slaughterhouse pay-per-views. He was instrumental in them, starting to get wins in the tag team division, a division that the Bankrollers really, really wanted to get involved in early on. Now we're going to see them try to come back with a different pairing this time. We're going to see, Chicago Cowboy and Dongo Jason Waterfalls. Interesting team, something I don't think we expected to see. But in the other match, you have STO and Nightmare taking on, Jack Punk, who we have not seen. We've heard about this guy. We've seen some stuff online. He looks to be like a great competitor. And we've seen a good bit of Malachi. He's a very interesting character. So, maybe sometimes that works out better when it comes to these, tag matches. Maybe he can get something going with Jack Punk. And, they are two new members of Supreme, so they obviously have a legacy they have to uphold in that ring.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with Supreme, isn't it? We've seen so many videos and seen so many speeches that they've given where they've had so many hooded figures with them, so many figures shrouded in mystery, cloaked in the dark, and I think we're finally starting to see a few of those come out. This has not been totally confirmed, this is just my own suspicion here, but I think Malachi Hades we've actually seen before we saw them get in the ring, and I think we've seen Jack Punk before too. Somewhere in the dark, somewhere in the background, supporting Supreme behind the scenes, and we're finally seeing them step into the light. And both of these teams actually have a bone to pick with Behold the Dark Horse. Malachi Hades' first match was at Slaughterhouse 6, and after some build, after some real hype behind Malachi Hades, they were I don't want to use the word squashed, but they were squashed, GG, in 8 minutes almost. Not even 8, almost 8 minutes. Run over by Nightmare. And that has to be tough when you're in a faction like Supreme, when you have champions like Zeus and Mello who have never lost a match, and you have Vint who is, been one of the top singles competitors here, finally getting his big match this week. It's got to be tough to feel like you're the weak link here, and I think that might be part of why Jacked Punk is even appearing on this show at all, to just give them a helping hand and maybe finding some balance together. But then you have the Bankrollers match, which we haven't really talked about yet. This is some deep Slaughterhouse lore here, but a long time ago, the Bankrollers paid off Black Snow to help them get their first ever victory, and it was the only victory on their win. They're the books for a long time, GG. And Black Snow is here to collect his money. He claims that Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi has never paid him, and the partnership was broken, and he is out for revenge. He has been talking smack for weeks. And I really can't wait to see what a fired-up Black Snow can do with the Bankrollers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fantastic match on both ends, both of these matches. And honestly, I got to say, I would not be surprised if Behold a Dark Horse comes out of this 2-0.
Definitely agree with you there, GG. And taking it to our first match, which we are going to see in just a second here, a brand new team made up of some Slaughterhouse originals. Athletic Husbands will be taking on the Birds of War in their first ever trios match. Birds of War, one of the strongest units here, winning matches left and right until they kind of went on a losing streak, Gigi. Something of a surprise. Frank losing very early in the hardcore tournament, Jabroni losing last week in the 4-way, and Demaniac not getting too much traction overall. They've been wanting this match as a trio for a minute. And Dank and Dong, one of the top tag teams here, one of the most athletic, one of the most exciting tag teams like we've talked about, taking Thomas Noble under their wings a little bit and trying to help him out as he lost his Bankrollers tryout match. And speaking of Bankrollers tryout matches, I just realized I skipped a match completely, which we will talk about after we talk about this. But we will be seeing Thomas Noble team up with two members of the Exotic Husbands, maybe as sort of an olive branch for what happened last week. Like, hey, we were both the losers there, but we're going to team up together, and we're going to find some real strength here together, GG.
Yeah, E.T., you couldn't have said it better, honestly. Thomas Noble is, you would think, one of the most sought-after free agents in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. The man has shown nothing but strength time and time again. Now, he didn't do exceptionally well in that 4-man match, but there's a lot going on in those kind of matches. Not to say there's not a lot going on in this one here tonight, but I think he'll have a chance to really shine with Dank and Dong. And on the other hand, Birds of War, like you said, very surprising losses in the hardcore tournament. A tournament seemed tailor-fit for Frank the Trashman Reynolds. I mean, I don't think any of us could have seen that coming, and especially with him losing to Lucifer Valeska, and then Ricky Big Bucks beating Lucifer Valeska in the next round. So losing to a loser in the next round, something I don't think expected out of the Birds of War faction. So I think the three of them are going to team up, put their heads together, and figure out a way to come up with a win. But on the other hand, Dank and Dong have shown great chemistry in the ring. Adding Thomas Noble in there, if he can land a few of those spears, I think they can come out on top.
Definitely agree with you there, GG. And that is our first contest of the evening. I should talk about the second one, though, that I accidentally skipped over. Badman, speaking of the Bankrollers tryouts, Badman was the only one to qualify to even get an attempt at joining the Bankrollers. Thomas Noble was not able to land an elimination in the 4-way match last week. Tyler Blades pulled out after thinking he might just be better on his own, and the Badman won his match, won the right to try out for the Bankrollers, and his final contest will be getting there in the ring with Big Money Marty and showing his stuff. I don't know what Big Money Marty's strategy is here. I don't know if Badman necessarily needs to get the win. Big Money Marty has used the word impressed multiple times, but tonight I think the Badman is here to impress everybody.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better there, E.T. I mean, this man has never lost a fight in his damn life, and he has started off hot in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, so if he, I guess, can impress the Bankrollers in his, tryout match, I think he has a good shot of getting in there, getting into the big money gym, which is something obviously very prestigious honor that, someone can get.
Totally agree with you there, Gigi. Bankrollers are one of the up-and-coming stables here after losing so many times, winning all of their matches at the last show. One of their members is in the main event tonight, first time any Bankrollers main event since Slaughterhouse won. So it would be a big deal for Badman to get in there in the big money gym and work with wrestlers of that caliber. But hey, my mistake aside, we're ready to kick it off here with some Slaughterhouse action. Gonna take it to the 6-man tag match, Athletic Husbands versus Birds of War. Double Dutch, let's get it started.
And we obviously, we saw a lot of issues with Double Dutch. Doug Douglas, who is one of the newer reps in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, one of the newer reps who might not be sticking around for too much longer. He's kind of have to, kind of turn it around here tonight, make sure he's making some of the correct calls in these early matches.
Oh God, I wasn't going to call it out, Gigi, but you are completely right about that. We had a lineup shift here in the Slaughterhouse. Had to get Double Dutch Doug Douglas, prolific indie wrestler, one of the best I've ever seen. But the downside to that is that he's taken a lot of headshots, taken a lot of blows to the head, kind of missed a few things here and there, and maybe some of the matches at Slaughterhouse 6 should have gone a slightly different direction. So I've heard from management, you're right, this is Double Dutch's last chance to show us that he has what it takes to even ref these insane matches, and by Slaughterhouse 8 we might have somebody else reffing. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how tonight goes. I mean, this first match is going to be a bit of a doozy. I mean, calling these 3-man tag matches can get pretty tricky when it comes to keeping up with, who's the live man, who's the man that's been tagged in. But it looks like we're going to start with Thomas Noble and the Trash Man. And we really haven't seen too much of the Trash Man lately.
Oh my God.
Start with a spear of his own.
Frank mocking Thomas Noble after their last encounter. Intrepid fans of Slaughterhouse Wrestling will remember that Thomas Noble's first 2 matches here ever were against Frank, where he could not land a single spear to save his life. Frank opening with the spear, trying to mock Thomas. Thomas a little too smart for it at this point.
Honestly, that might have missed him on purpose. If anything we know about Frank the Trash Man Reynolds is he loves getting his opponent's head, either with that scythe or with his, mind games.
Oh yeah, Frank is the most unconventional wrestler we have here. One of the strangest wrestlers I've ever had I'm not sure I'd say pleasure, but definitely, I don't know, one of the weirdest wrestlers I've ever seen. We'll just put it like that. I'll try to remain neutral.
And it's really weird you say that.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over there, the GG, but we just saw 3 giant spins in a row from Frank Reynolds and then a running bonsai drop. Just speaking of unconventional, I don't think I've ever seen that strategy in my life.
Honestly, that was the right move. Get out of the ring while you have a chance. I mean, the Trash Man is not going to let up. Let Poopstain get in there. Let him handle it. Let him take care of things.
Yeah, and Poopstain immediately taking over there, hitting Frank with a leg lock, hitting him down. Demaniac trying to get involved, make an early save for his team. Might be the right call there.
And Jabronian, dang Poopstain, something
Big spear from Frank Reynolds there to Dank in the corner.
Yeah, and honestly, this is a matchup, I didn't think I would see, but I kind of am enjoying it. Jabroni versus someone like Dank Poopstain could end up being a great singles match on its own.
Yeah, I think we've said it before, GG. There's Dave Poopstain is kind of an underrated wrestler here, an underrated powerhouse, an underrated athletic specimen, and pairing him with someone as flamboyant as Jabroni will probably lead to some interesting results.
Yeah, and interesting, a little bit of a lack of teamwork there is, Poopstain putting the headlock and Dong and Thomas Noble just kind of watching from the sidelines there saying, you got this, man, you got this.
Seems like they might have it. Dong taking over with the side Russian sweep, bringing Jabroni a little more to the center of the ring, and it looks like Jabroni going to tag in the third member of Birds of War, the Maniac. Someone we haven't seen too much of, GG.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten too much of a sample size. It's been kind of a smaller one for Demaniac, someone who obviously also has gone through a, outfit change. That seems to be a very popular trend here with Slaughterhouse Wrestling. But once he did the change, it seems like he's been wrestling a little worse than before. And someone like, Dong is certainly not going to help that, as both of these tag teams seem very, very, into the idea of just letting the guys wrestle it out in the ring. No one is really coming in to break up these moves at all.
Well, I think a lot of this is about proving themselves as wrestlers here, too. Birds of War not able to really string together wins. They might not want to get interfered. They might want to say, hey, you kind of need this. You kind of need to prove yourself as a real member of this tag team. I'm not going to help you out. You get out of this hole. So it's kind of one of those things, tough love, trying to work it out, trying to make sure everything really gels together before you get in there and really help each other out. But yes, I would definitely agree. It's kind of an interesting strategy.
Maniac is just laying some aggression on Dong right now, just been attacking that back relentlessly.
Dong looking to tag out to Dank Poopstain, the man he has tagged the most with here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. These guys know each other backwards and forwards, and I don't think we've actually seen them tag together since the German Brawl Down.
Yeah, I think it has been that long since we've seen them, on the same side. We've seen them wrestle against each other, but never, on the same side for a while now.
Do you think there are any hard feelings there, GG? I mean, that was one of the most emotional matches we've had in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and one of the longest, one of the hardest matches. Do you think there are any hard feelings there after Dong won that match?
You got to think there was a lot going into that match, the lead up to it, and the match itself. I mean, which is still, probably the best Slaughterhouse match we've ever seen. I think there was a lot to it, but it seems like they left everything in the ring after that match. I think they cleared up a lot of it, and I think from here on out, they're just going to kind of, do their thing and just kind of try to figure out where they go from here.
Oh, just like you were complaining about, both Birds of War in to try to help Jabroni escape the Boston Crab, but Dong taking a big power bomb, maybe turning this match a little bit, trying to fight with DDT, both men down. Yeah, they're going to have to really put everything aside, like you said, GG. They're going to have to start gelling together better as a tag team, like the Birds are doing now, if they want a fighting chance at this match.
Yeah, and I was expecting just a little bit more Thomas Noble. I'm guessing we'll see another, tag out here in a second.
Almost a 3 count there, excuse me. And now all 6 men in here brawling, a true German brawl down. Dong going back to his corner first and showboating. Maybe not the best strategy there as your teammate is taking a sleeper hold, but it looks like it worked out for the best.
Yeah, well, we've seen a little bit from Dong earlier tonight. I noticed, he was a little bit closer to us, obviously, here at the announce table. We noticed he kind of invited the crowd to suck it a little bit earlier, so.
Oh, top rope flipping blockbuster from Frank Reynolds into the running power slam. Dank Poopstain is in real trouble here. He needs to make the tag, and he does to Thomas Noble. Again, that pairing, Thomas Noble and Frank. I know there's going to be tensions flaring right now.
Yeah, you got to think, what's going to happen first? Is Thomas Noble going to finally find his home, or will he take down the Trash Man, a man who's, kind of made his life here in Slaughterhouse kind of a living hell for a good while, as Trash Man did not get the message on that one, trying to get that drop kick going.
Again, Thomas Noble outsmarting him. He knows Frank's strategy at this point, and he's doing everything he can to try to avoid those moves. And you can see there that full Nelson bomb. And I think that might be a newer move from Thomas Noble, something Frank wasn't anticipating.
It looks like he'll get, his chance to maybe take Trash Man on a later date, but the Maniac's the live man now.
Oh, both men putting each other in various leg holds there, trying to get each other off of their feet. Solid strategy, but a strong punch from Jabroni to the back of the head takes down Noble. And Noble fighting off all three birds. Are we going to see, yes, a jackhammer suplex to Demaniac? Will this be enough? Looks like it won't be.
Dong and Dank, I know they're doing a favor for him, but they've got to be a little bit quicker with that. I mean, that could have been the match for Noble. It could have been a fantastic win here in front of this sold-out crowd here at the Bonds America Memorial Auditorium.
Oh, that truly is a mouthful, isn't it, GG?
Honestly, obviously me and you both, natives to Orlando, we've been used to saying it for a long time, but it's a little bit weird to call it out, I will say that.
Thomas Noble getting the Maniac up in the Gorilla Press position, slamming him down again with the knee bar, trying to take control of this match. And the Birds of War really gelling as a team here, always getting, the person doing the submission or the pin off of their teammate, seemingly every single time. They are so on the ball here, GG.
Yeah, honestly, this is what you see when you have a faction taking on, two guys and another guy. Like, there's a difference between them.
But it looks like, it looks like the Athletic Husbands have kind of started gelling as a team, finally making the saves for each other. Maybe taking a page out of Birds of War's book now that they've been in the same ring with him for enough time.
Yeah, it looks like Noble's going to get a chance to get the win here if he can kind of keep Jabroni down there in that lock, but he's going to get out of it.
Oh, but he gets him back in another variation of it. Luckily, the Maniac there to make the save for his teammate.
Noble has shown so much here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but one thing he needs to show is a little bit more, I don't want to say smarts, but I guess just more ring awareness. A lot of times he's putting these guys in these submissions and these pins right next to the Birds of War's corner.
Yeah, you really can't fault the man for being enthusiastic, though. I mean, after winning, 4 Heisman's? Oh, pin. Luckily, Thomas Noble there to break it up, actually showing some ring awareness.
Yeah, showing he can kind of be a part of a team. I mean, if any factions are out there watching, this guy is available, and he wants to shine.
However,
I think that's the match.
I believe that Dong Michaels was injured off of the ocular pat-down, unable to compete for his team. Double Dutch Doug Douglas calling the match, saying that that team can no longer compete. Folks, the Birds of War have won their first ever 6-man tag match here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Yeah, and what a match it was, honestly. I mean, we saw a lot from Thomas Noble, which I think was the main thing in this match for the Athletic Husbands. Dong and Dank don't really have much to lose. I wouldn't say too much to gain, but they really wanted to do their man a solid, do him a favor, and he got his chance. He was in the ring for a good bit of this match tonight, really show him what he was worth. The Birds of War also came out of this on top, getting back in the win column.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed this win. I don't want to say they needed it more than the other competitors, but just based on the win and loss records, they kind of did. There's no shame for the Athletic Husbands there. Like you said, Thomas Noble showing a lot of heart, a lot of fighting spirit, maybe even more than we've seen from him before. But the other husbands trying their best just could not get one over on the team that is trained together. They've known each other for years. And you know what? There's really no shame in that, GG.
Yeah, you can't really expect, the world of guys that have just kind of been working together this past, week or two, kind of getting together and trying to figure out as a team how it's going to work. But in this next match, we have a very interesting thing. We got, Marty taking on the Bad Man, someone who, won his inaugural match to kind of get the chance to get into the bankrollers. But, there's a little bit of discussion back behind the scenes, a little bit more going on, and it looks like he's going to need to impress Big Money Marty here in this ring to progress further in the bankrollers.
Yes, after the dissolution of Limitless 420, there were so many free agents out there, including Batman, who made his debut at Slaughterhouse 6, that Big Money Marty said, you know what, we can open up our ranks, we can maybe get one more person. we're going to have a tryout match of Slaughterhouse 7 once everyone qualifies at 6. Badman was the only one that qualified, so Marty said, you know what, I guess I got to get in the ring with him myself and really feel out what this kid has to offer. And there's been some discussions. We don't know how this is going to go, but it will be an incredible match, GG.
Yeah, if there's anything that could be said about Marty, he's one of the more unpredictable wrestlers in Slaughterhouse. I mean, him and Ricky Big Buck's kind of the bank behind the bankrollers. It'll be impressive to see what he can do against a Badman who, got his one win here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but, we're going to need to see more from him. I mean, obviously, he's got the physicality. I mean, look at the man.
Oh, he is a handsome, jacked man, GG. I have no problem saying that here live on iPay-per-view. But Big Money Marty's out there already taking him down, already getting him in that headlock. That is that ground and pound, that wear and tear style of Big Money Marty. And that's kind of, you brought this up earlier when you talked about his unorthodox wrestling style. You can go out there and be the best wrestler in the world, be the most athletic wrestler in the world, be the most technical wrestler in the world. If you're in there with Big Money Marty, he's gonna find a way to get it done. Like you see right there, he's not afraid to take a couple liberties with the rules here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and that's what makes him so hard and so dangerous.
Yeah, honestly, I think what really Big Money Marty, I think the bankrollers, they want to see a good match out of him. They don't want to see, even if he wins, that's great. Yeah, they can kind of go from there. But I think more than anything, they want to see a good match out of Badman here tonight.
Definitely agree with you there, GG. And he is hanging pretty well with Big Money so far, but Marty definitely has the upper hand in this match. Oh, the Fujiwara armbar, what he has gotten his single victory with over Dank Poopstain here in Slaughterhouse, but luckily Badman can power out of it.
Yeah, if there's anything, we're going to see a lot of resiliency from Badman. This is a guy never lost a damn fight in his life, and he's going to kind of take it to Big Money Marty here in this ring. Even if he wants to impress the man, the best way to do that, beat the hell out of him.
Definitely agree, GG. And you can see these two men locking eyes, punching each other in the face. He is trying to beat the hell out of Marty. It looks like he's going to get the best of that situation, going for the cover, kick out even before one. Marty does not look like he has a drop of sweat on him so far.
Yeah, he must have something on him, though, because Badman straight up missed him with that clothesline.
Yeah, we talk about the rules, and there's the 401k. Which would not surprise me if Marty greased himself up a little bit before this match.
And it looks like Double Dutch is getting a little bit closer with those calls here tonight. He's seen those brass knuckles, and he started to get a count on Big Money Marty. Might have to be watching out if Double Dutch is going to start calling these matches accurately here tonight.
Yes, I would be shocked, but stranger things have happened here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Ooh.
Stranger things have happened indeed.
Big knee drop there from Marty, shooting Badman off and getting the throat chop, showing off the gun show to the crowd. Badman is in trouble here, GG. I don't think he's landed more than a handful of offensive moves on Big Money Marty.
Yeah, and honestly, with Big Money Marty, it's all about momentum. This crowd here, all 1,100 of these Florida fans here, they want to see they want some entertainment. We're about right down the street from a few places you could get some entertainment, but I don't think anything's going to top what we're going to see here tonight.
Oh, of course not. Here in the Bonds America Memorial Auditorium in Orlando, Florida, you can't buy better entertainment. God, speaking of entertaining, if you are a Big Money Marty fan, which I personally am, this match is probably very entertaining for you. He is absolutely wailing on the Badman here, GG.
Yeah, the Badman's going to have to turn it around, and he'll start right there, getting some offense on Big Money Marty to remind him of those muscles and what he can do. Oh, and he'll show Big Money Marty a nice groin shot there, something that Marty showed him earlier. He's a quick learner here tonight.
Yeah, something right out of the Bankrollers playbook, and a Samoan drop there, too. Great classic wrestling move, twisting neck breaker. Will Badman be able to put the pieces to this match together? That is the question here now.
Not even a one count on Big Money Marty. They have definitely been hitting the Big Money gym lately. Something that Badman would desperately like the key to as he goes another groin shot. This guy he looks like he is ready to join the Bankrollers.
Ooh, Badman elbow there, but he's too tired to get the pinfall after it. I know that's one of his preferred finishing maneuvers. Oh, No, Big Money Marty tucking the head in his trunks. That's not good for Badman. Getting the trunk pile driver there. Back body drop. Dragging Badman to the center of the ring. Will he make the cover? No, he opts not to.
Yeah, that's something. Obviously, we have the Bankrollers have a languished history here in Slaughterhouse with, not understanding when and how often to pin and what situation. Something we, even though they have gotten so much better at it, something that, from the get-go could have made them one of the top factions, if not just one of the most talked about factions.
Yeah, they just don't pin. They don't pin enough. Hey guys, you hit moves. You're good at wrestling. Just learn how to pin. I'm sorry I'm getting a little heated here, but this is something that's bothered me for all 7 shows we've done. I just wish they would learn how to pin sometimes. But it looks like Badman isn't having that problem. Hitting the Badman elbow. Only getting a 2 count though, but smart call on his part.
Yeah, and honestly, Big Money Marty's going to need to show something here. I mean, since the beginning of the match, the Batman has pinned Big Money. That is his 4th or 5th pin by my count.
Another Badman elbow leading to a pinfall, and another Samoan drop. Oh, dumping Big Marty on his head right out here by us. I hope you didn't get hit by that, GG.
No, not just, and a groin shot right in front. And we saw that one pretty closely. This man, he's ready to be a bankroller. I'm just saying, this guy is cut out for this faction.
Oh, he wants it. The tides have turned here. Badman is on top. Dumping Big Money Marty out here and stringing together some solid offense. Will Marty be able to beat the 20 count? He does, sliding in at 17. Close call, though.
Honestly, that will be about as about a bankroller win as you can have right there. A count out outside the ring. So, maybe that might have impressed him enough. But at Big Marty, if he'll get a pin here, I think he's put enough offense down on the Badman.
The Badman standing up pretty fast after that knee dropper and nailing the DDT top of Marty's head, dragging him to the middle of the ring, but Marty reversing the pin with just a simple kick to the head. That is that Big Money gym strategy. That is the kind of stuff they practice, those sort of reversals. But oh my gosh, Uranagi from the Badman. Will this be enough?
Big Money Marty will not quit here. He is going to make the bankroller earn every single dime.
I definitely thought that was 3 GG. I really thought he had it there.
Well, Double Dutch has done a great job this match. I'm just saying. I mean, it kind of did look like 3 to me too. But I will say Double Dutch has improved exponentially from last show.
Oh yeah, I thought he was the worst ref I'd ever seen. But now he's like bottom 10 probably. Definitely a step up.
Bottom 10. Bottom 10 would probably be pretty accurate.
Oh my gosh, Big Money Marty needs to string something together here if he wants to stay in this match. But this has been all action, GG. Oh, standing sleeper hold. And that will do it for Big Money Marty.
Still no pin. Still no pin, I should say. He's got the holds, he's got the locks, but he must have lost the pin code because he clearly couldn't do it. And the fans here are in love with the Badman and Marty. A fantastic match put on from these 2 wrestlers.
Yes, great match. No pinfall on Marty's behalf, but I think he's kind of evolved out of that at this point. I don't want to give too much credit to Big Money Marty, considering how much he loves punching other people in the dick. But it seems like his stratagem has kind of revolved around arm holds, sleeper holds, leg holds. He is trying to move into being a submission wrestler. And I think that distinction is what has gotten him these 2 past wins. And I think that might just be the direction he needs to go in.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you have success doing it, I think, keep going for it. But the bigger story here, did Badman do enough to impress the bankrollers? I mean, this guy, he went out there and showed grit and determination. He did something the bankrollers are not very fond of. He did pin a good bit, I will say that, something that might make them a bit apprehensive. But this guy, I mean, the offense, the moves, I mean, he was doing everything he could to take down Big Money Marty, who would just not stay down.
Look, I will say he did a couple more pins out there than a bankroller might do. But after those kind of shots to the testicular region, that felt straight out of the bankroller playbook. It was like he had already seen some bankroller matches and thought, you know what, I'm going to adopt some of their moves to try to get them on my side. So I don't know. It's really a toss-up there. It is really a toss-up. For my money, I think Badman looked pretty impressive.
Yeah,
but
I think everyone in Slaughterhouse was.
Moving on to our next match here. We are getting the first match of the Behold a Dark Horse Double Challenge. That's what I'm calling it now, GG. The Behold a Dark Horse Double Challenge. STO pulling double duty, teaming in this match with Nightmare against Supreme's newest members, Jacked Punk and Malachi Hades. Nightmare has a distinct win over Malachi Hades, beating them in 8 minutes last show. I believe it was actually 7:53, but I'm going to round up the pieces of this. 8 minutes. You know Malachi Hades is coming into this mad as hell about that loss.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably not just him either. Supreme is not a faction to be taken lightly when it comes to losing. Obviously, one of the more storied factions here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. They have some gold on their waist. They might could potentially lose it tonight, but that's something we don't see very often for Supreme. Anything in the loss column. And on the other hand, Nightmare, when he first got started here in Slaughterhouse, was known for losing a few matches.
Yeah, Nightmare was on a real losing streak. I think his debut match, he actually got knocked out by a different member of Supreme, Vint, if I'm remembering right. It may have been Zeus. I do not have all the facts and statistics in front of me. But yes, after this recent change from Behold a Dark Horse, they changed up their gear, started coordinating a little better. Nightmare was able to get a real win over, you're right, one of the most storied factions in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. It's the newest member, sure, but that's still a member of Supreme. That's still a distinct, real W in that column. And as much as that pisses off Malachi Hades, that has to elate the 3 members of Behold a Dark Horse.
Looks like going for that pin here early on in this match against Jack Punk. Not a very wise move. We're not even at a minute and a half here.
Yeah, you're going to have to do a little bit more than that to secure a pinfall here. And I just want to point this out. 3 of the members of this match are enormous, GG. We joke about this a lot, Slaughterhouse Wrestling being the land of super heavyweights. But seriously, Nightmare and STO and Jacked Punk, I had not seen Jacked Punk before. This is a tall, muscular man, GG.
Yeah, honestly, and I think we talked about this before. The black and the red of both of these factions, honestly, looks like they can play off each other pretty well. And Jack Punk, it looks like he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, Nightmare getting a little bit of the upper hand here. Putting a claw onto his hand, using the claw on Jacked Punk. Double Dutch Doug Douglas standing there slack-jawed in awe. Never in my life have I seen that.
I'm not really too sure what to make of that. Double Dutch, obviously, we thought he'd been doing a better job, but after that, I don't know what to say after that one.
Yeah, great. I'm just stunned at the wrestling history here. The claw going back to, oh my god, I don't even remember how far. Von Erichs, maybe? I'm probably getting that confused with a different claw. I know that the claw in question now resides with Taichi of New Japan fame, but Nightmare, the newest person of that wrestling legacy, using the claw here to try to get the upper hand from Behold a Dark Horse. You love to see it, GG. You love to see it.
Yeah, honestly, as someone who's watched a lot of hardcore matches over the last few pay-per-views here in Slaughterhouse, it's nice to see some weapons outside of those matches, but at the same time, Double Dutch has to do his job and keep these wrestlers safe when they don't sign up for those kind of matches.
Very true, very true. Definitely going in the con column there for keeping Double Dutch Doug Douglas around. But speaking of pros, we have 4 in the ring right now. Malachi Hades and Nightmare absolutely giving it to each other. I was about to say Nightmare looked like he was getting the upper hand, but Malachi Hades there taking over with a spinning neck breaker. Nightmare getting the advantage with a big boot. I think these guys are actually pretty evenly matched, GG. I'm not sure what happened last week.
Yeah, this is something, it's kind of weird to say that they're, kind of going back and forth here in this ring, considering the size difference between these two wrestlers.
Well, hey, that's what Slaughterhouse is all about. It's about your heart. It's about your fighting spirit. You know, size does not matter. As you can see there, big Hurricane Rana from Nightmare. A man his size should not be.
I don't know how that's physical.
Oh my
I
God.
just saw it again. I don't know how that's possible.
Moving around like a cruiserweight in there, he's got to be pushing 300 pounds at the minimum. God, he's doing those big moves. And STO getting in on it. He's having a good time too, just watching this.
Yeah, these guys, Behold a Dark Horse, it looks like they're having fun here in this first match, but Malachi's not going to take it laying down, trading some blows to the dome there.
Oh, but Nightmare with one to the gut. These men are back and forth, GG. Jesus Christ, huge lariat from Nightmare. Going for the pin, he may have earned it at this point. Not
And
quite.
Jack Punk will get there just in time to stop it. Malachi did not look like he was about to tap out of, or kick out of that one.
Oh, standing armbar, some sort of a variation on the octopus. Luckily, STO was there to break it up before we saw how far that would go.
Yeah, STO's not going to let his teammate, fall down here. The only thing I think that could take him down again would be another knockout, which obviously Nightmare obviously had a few concussions. Janet looked him over. Obviously your mom's friend, who is a nurse, Janet, who is currently employed by Slaughterhouse Wrestling, looked him over. He's had a few concussions, but he is, he's still ready to go week in and week out.
Yeah, speaking of checking out Nightmare, she's going to need to do it again. Look at his forehead and his chest. Nightmare, I'm not even sure what move did it, but he is bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, this man is standing in front of us here, ringside. His blood just dripping off of his forehead.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he needs to go back into the ring, if SDO can just finish it himself.
Yeah, look at that standing moonsault. I would not be surprised if a move like that later in the match could put away Jack Punk or Malachi Hades. Yeah, I guess it was those punches to the head from Hades that did it. Those taped up fists. There might be something underneath there that's a little, not natural. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, I think that's something that could be very possible.
And STO taking over here, trying to go for that roaring elbow, missing. Jack Punk shooting him off, but STO still able to get a shoulder tackle in. Really trying to take over for this match. I have been impressed with Behold a Dark Horse as a tag team ever since their change up in gear and attitude, GG. These guys have really, really started to impress me.
Yeah, honestly, the two of the most storied factions here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, Bankrollers and Behold a Dark Horse, both switched a few things up and came out the other side looking pretty good. So honestly, any Slaughterhouse guys in the back listening to our commentary, which I don't know why they would, they pretty much hate us. I think the trick is switch it up, switch up the outfits, switch up the face makeup, whatever you can do. That is the key to success here at Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Yeah, could not agree with you more there. And I'm also hearing a small contingent of fans. I'm sorry, my head was turned away for a second. I was hearing a small contingent of fans chanting for Janet, my mom's friend who is a nurse. We just want to thank you all for your support of Janet, my mom's friend who is a nurse. It's because of people like you that she remains employed here at Slaughterhouse Wrestling after she walked off that one time, I think. We brought her back with your iPay-per-view money.
Yeah, and I think currently she is the highest paid person on contract here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling because of how necessary she is to the product.
That is a low bar, GG. That is at the lowest of low bars. But hey, going from a low bar to a high bar, that huge power slam there from STO taking down Malachi Hades. This match is absolutely breaking down in the ring. All four men going at it. All four people, I should say.
Between the black ring and the blood on the mat, the blood on the faces, the face paint, the black and red clothing, the trunks, I don't know what's going on in this match.
It is so hard to tell, and I think I just broke my favorite pin, clicking it so much just because I was so antsy watching Nightmare bleed around the ring like that. But now Malachi Hades taking over as the dominant person in this match. I some sort of flipping arm drag off the turnbuckle. Malachi showing some great offense here.
As he's pleading with STO not to...
All
right, Pope. Is this the Bankrollers? What is going on in this match?
Double Dutch Doug Douglas missing the claw and missing the eye poke, just standing there like he was born goddamn yesterday. Luckily, STO shrugging it off. Looks like it didn't hurt him too bad. I'm always worried about the ocular health of our wrestlers around here.
Yeah, I mean, I think Slaughterhouse Wrestling, great name, could be called eye poke wrestling as much as we see it here.
Now we have Nightmare back in the ring. That same combination of guys has excited us so much so far.
Malachi doing his best to stay in this match, kicking out at what was almost another 3 count. I think Double Dutch got that call right this time, but I mean, he's made some pretty interesting ones so far.
Yeah, I don't know if I can really trust Double Dutch Doug Douglas at this point. Malachi opening up that cut with those huge shots and a drop kick on the money. Nightmare up on his feet though. God, these two people are so evenly matched, GG. I don't know who's going to come out on top here.
I mean, whoever gets this last big move in, I think, and finally gets the pin is really what's going to be set it apart. Malachi is just laying waste to Nightmare's face with these knee blows.
Yeah, I really thought that twist of fate, that twisting neckbreaker would have done it, but that float over DDT might be what does it.
The speed by Malachi, almost 20 minutes into this match, not a hurricane run, just the jumping, the agility of this man, 20 minutes almost into this match, blood gushing from his head.
Oh, it's insane, GG. It is insane. Both men down. Malachi somehow up first after that exchange. And it looks like Malachi going for a vertebraker pin. Did not get the pin though because they were in the corner. God, that was so close to probably being what could have taken down Nightmare. A move like that, I don't really know.
Roll up pin by Malachi, but STO will get there in time. STO has got to get into this match. I know Nightmare wants to show Behold a Dark Horse that he can hold his own, but there's a lot of confusion going on in the ring between these guys. A lot of blood loss, I'm sure, is playing into that. A lot of blood loss from the head. Double Dutch just letting them play it out, though.
Yeah, letting them play, ref. Letting them play. Malachi with the drop toe hold there. Finally, probably thinking, what can I do to put STO away? And a swanton bomb might be what does it if they can capitalize, if they can get the pin. And here we go. 1, 2... STO breaks it up. STO, the tag team specialist, breaking up pinfalls.
And he's sure doing his job at keeping himself fresh for the next match. But honestly, if he does not get into this match, Nightmare does not stand a chance of taking out Malachi.
Jumping Enziguri there, right on the money. All those blows to Nightmare's head have to be built up.
You gotta think Malachi's looking for that pin here, too.
Tagging in Jack Punk, I believe. Oh, nope, Jack Punk just getting in just to get in.
Yeah,
ooh, right near the turnbuckles. Perfect positioning for another Swanton Bomb. Hits it on the money. Nightmare is going to need all of his strength to kick out of this one. STO just out of reach. And that will do it, folks.
Not a very good start for Behold a Dark Horse here.
Yeah, Behold a Dark Horse's double match challenge. The first one ends in a loss for Dark Horse. Malachi Hades getting their win back with the Senton Atomico, the Swanton Bomb, whatever you want to call it. Night fell to it. And folks really know if that was completely Nightmare's fault.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like you need to put some of the blame on STO, but I mean, what is he supposed to do? He can't get in the ring. Every time the pin went down, he did his best to get to where he needed to be. But at the same time, Nightmare, you got to get over there. You had plenty of opportunities. I mean, what's going on? Like, why are you not tagging out? But I will say, I could probably watch Malachi and Nightmare fight over and over and over again every pay-per-view from now on. That was a fantastic match by those two men.
Oh, I totally agree. I think, if I was commissioner dipshit here, I think I might put those two people in one last singles match just to see what happens. Nightmare won the first one. Malachi Hades got the upper hand here. But what could those two people do with no limits? But speaking of behold a dark horse in tag team action. We are going to move on to the second match here. No breaks for STO. These two matches back to back. He said, bring it on. I will do both of them. We're going to see them take on the Bankrollers team of Don't Go Jason Waterfalls and Chicago Cowboy.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match here. STO obviously not leaving the ring, just kind of waiting for Black Snow to rejoin. No, okay, looks like he is going to head to the back. Okay, yeah, he's going to take a breather for a second as, Double Dutch is going to take a second to try to get some of that blood out of the ring, be useful for something here tonight. And looks like the Cowboy and Don't Go Jason Waterfalls, two people we've never really seen team up. We've heard a lot from both of these guys about what they can do in the ring. We've seen more from Chicago Cowboy than we have Don't Go Jason Waterfalls. But I can say Jason Waterfalls, he wins the matches when he needs to.
Yes, definitely agree with you there. And speaking of winning matches, the winner of the cage match last show, the main event, Chicago Cowboy opting to go into the tag division instead of going into singles competition, something that I don't think I was necessarily expecting, but you are right that he is here to make a statement, and Jason Waterfalls wins those matches when he needs to. So I don't know, I think this is a good strategy. I think they really can have something going here.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where the Bankrollers go from here. They have a potential, they get potential to grow this faction. They could be adding Badman as soon as tonight. And on the other hand, you see Chicago Cowboy coming off what a fantastic cage match with Demon Sky. Where does it go from here? Going into the tag division, is this something as they see they can conquer? Is this a new potential, is this new territory for the Bankrollers?
I think that's what it is. Chicago Cowboy coming off of his big win, the biggest in his career, arguably, and Jason Waterfalls finally picking up the win here. They could move into the singles area. They could move into the hardcore division if that's going to get settled out tonight, or they could move into Walnuts territory. But those two lanes are so crowded. We have so many hungry wrestlers here who want to compete in singles competition, but not many until tonight, I guess, who want to compete in tag competition. So if you're hot, you're on that win streak, you kind of know what's up, you kind of know what's happening, you kind of know what you need to do to get the win. You kind of have to go for the tag belts. The field is wide open, and I think they both know that.
Yeah, and I think the Dark Horse also kind of wants to get their names in that hat. STO wants to see out of his teammates maybe who's the best companion for him. Obviously, Nightmare losing that first match. If Black Snow shows out strong in this second match tonight, I think you'll see something from him that maybe they can go even further. And before we go any further, I do want to say we are seeing an interesting new outfit choice for the Cowboy and Jason Waterfalls. Cowboy showing us a little something in the full bodysuit, and Waterfalls giving us the denim mask and the pants combo.
Kind of a Scorpion vibe, if I was to put it on someone, or Sub-Zero, that's the who I'm looking for. A little bit of a Mortal Kombat vibe there from Don't Go Jason Waterfalls.
Don't see too many denim ones, I will say that.
Yes, kind of a denim Mortal Kombat vibe, totally right about that. We know how much Jason Waterfalls loves that denim. But yes, this bodysuit for Cowboy is really an inspired choice. Cowboy we've also seen in jeans a lot, and boots, a real working class outfit for a wrestler. But this time, putting on a complete bodysuit with some sort of character written on it, and what looks like either some sort of a dot in the middle, or maybe it's connected to a necklace. I'm not sure. Some nice knee pads. Definitely something to distinguish him in tag team competition from his singles career. Both of these men doing that. And you can see right there, their opening offensive maneuver, a 3D, the assisted neck breaker there coming off of the back suplex. That is all of that put together is an ultimate tag team statement that they are a real deal tag team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see STO obviously getting a lot of work early on here in this match. You got to think he'll be going to, Black Snow pretty soon, get another breather. Hopefully not as long a breather as he had last match. Chicago Cowboy is going to start laying waste here.
Oh, wait, what? Huh? Okay. Big Money Marty just came over and slapped me on the back of the head and told me that that is actually the Chicago Cowboys Chicago Cubs outfit, and that I am a nerd and should probably watch more sports if I want to become cool like him. So, sorry folks for thinking it's a weird bodysuit. It is definitely a Chicago Cubs costume.
Yeah, a costume I think being the main key word there. I mean, I'm honestly, ET, I know you're not a very big sports person. As STO will just kind of ride the ropes there for a second as the rest of the match goes on without him. It looks like a very, I see Cubs there. I do see Cubs there. I know he is a big fan, obviously a Chicago native himself, the Cowboy. It's a nice homage to the Cubs. I will say that.
We know Chicago Cowboy, proud of his heritage, right there in his name. Jason Waterfalls here, speaking of, going for the bow and arrow in the center of the ring. That's the sort of technical wrestling we're expecting here. You know, Jason Waterfalls and Chicago Cowboy really bring different things to the table. Jason Waterfalls being a technical wrestler, a real wrestler's wrestler, someone that you would hunt down tapes of to study from because of all of his innovative, wild moves. The Chicago Cowboy is just an absolute powerhouse, the real muscle here. So, you know, we're going to watch that strategy, see who they put in win, see if they can kind of suss out who's going to be the best match for who in this match. I think that's going to be one of their keys to victory.
Yeah, why do I have to, okay. Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi just came out and threw a chair at me. I don't think he knows he's not in a match right now, trying to get Double Dutch to pay attention to him saying I hit him with a chair. But he came out to let me know that Don't Go Jason Waterfall's outfit is apparently an homage to Hayabusa. Do you know who that one might be? ET, is that a wrestler himself?
Yes, Hayabusa from FMW in Japan, making appearances in ECW as well in America. Legendary hybrid deathmatch and high flyer wrestler. One of the most influential wrestlers on today's style. Don't know how I missed that one. I feel like a real dummy.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I know Ricky Big Bucks has a match later on. It's Jason Waterfalls is introduced to this concrete floor as STO is just like close to the corner of the ring.
STO showing his anger at this situation, punching the turnbuckle over and over again, not getting the best of it though. But yes, this match is breaking down the outside. Jason Waterfalls getting hit with a huge backbreaker from STO. Cowboy needs to get back out there and help his friend. But Jason with the light tube, real Hayabusa style. I guess someone stepped on it or something and immediately exploded.
Yeah, I think they have some breakaway ones down there. I know that from what I've been hearing, Earl Dipshit's been really building up this hardcore title match for the main event. So I'm curious if something like that might play into it later. Jason Waterfalls is like, this is what we've got in store later, is everyone's just kind of riding the ropes right now. It's kind of been a trend here in this match. Everyone's just kind of going back and forth. I'm not honestly too sure who is the legal man in the match right now.
This has been a completely unorthodox match, GG. I'm not even sure what's happening any moment here, but I can see that Black Snow is putting a Dragon Sleeper on Chicago Cowboy as Jason Waterfalls makes the save with those knees to the head. One of his preferred moves, always a good strategy.
It looks like Cowboy's going to have his work as Black Snow and STO both take him on. STO being the legal man, but Black Snow sticking around here, kind of giving it to his former, tag team faction, friends, even though he did not wrestle with Chicago Cowboy. He is familiar with him.
STO with the rollover. Yeah, sorry, I didn't even talk over there, but STO with the rollover leg lock, that is the move that he won his match at Slaughterhouse 6 with. We know how deadly that move can be, and luckily Jason was there to help break it up.
Yeah, honestly, both of these, Jason and Chicago Cowboy have been wrestling together, have been training together for a lot longer. If Jason will get there not in the nick of time, Chicago Cowboy will save himself. Sometimes a cowboy does what he has to do.
Jason saving the match for his partner again. Jason Waterfalls a lot more accustomed to tag team wrestling than the Chicago Cowboy is. Really getting out there and showing that he has that sort of ring awareness that we look for in tag teams here.
Yeah, it looks like that awareness kind of paid off just now, getting out of the way of STO's move, which might have helped his partner out in the ring as he'll get the pin down again right in front of Jason, who'll get there in time for the low kick to the head of STO. And Chicago Cowboy, he's got to get something going here. There's not much offense being shown by the Cowboy.
Big spinning lariat from Jason Waterfall, somehow breaking up that leg lock, though. Good move there. Jason moving in again to break up the pin. Jason has been absolutely crucial to the Bankrollers staying in this match. I don't know what would happen if somebody else was out there. Oh my gosh, huge moonsault from STO onto Chicago Cowboy. Cowboy getting up and finally stringing together a little bit of offense, though, but getting hit with an STO by STO. Not something you see that often here, surprisingly.
Yeah, E.T., I'm not too sure what needs to happen right now, but I know one thing for sure, the Cowboy needs to get the tag, and there it is. Jason Waterfall's coming in hot with an elbow to the face from STO to welcome him to the ring.
There we go, fall-away slam by Chicago Cowboy, getting some modicum of revenge over STO and allowing Jason to hit those knees to the head again.
And I mean, in Hold a Dark Horse, they really have this tag team thing down. I mean, Jason's been saving Cowboy's butt backwards and forwards, but STO and Black Snow, they really got something going on in this ring here tonight.
Double underhook suplex there from Jason Waterfalls. Big moves like that are going to be the key to victory at this point. And a big top rope senton for the exclamation point. Good work from Jason there, trying to string something together for his team.
You get a quick pin, but can't be doing it that close to the ropes.
Gory special, though. He's going back to what he knows at this point. Those fancy, gory special, real wrestler moves. He just has to get away from the ropes.
Yeah, we saw this last match, too. I mean, this has got to be something you got to have a little bit more awareness of what's going on in and around the ring. Is STO just kind of watches Black Snow get set up over there, and he'll just kind of hang out for a second, literally.
Oh my gosh, STO leapfrogging over Jason Waterfalls and getting a Hurricane Rana. Sadly not the legal man though, so the pin does not count. Black Snow with a Rainmaker. And Jason, I don't even know how to call this right now. Jason down though. Black Snow definitely getting the best of Jason Waterfalls.
And just those blows to the back of the head here as he gets him in some kind of headlock there as Cowboy get over there as quick as he can to try to break it up, but the Bankrollers have got their work cut out for them in the rest of the match. Unless they get like something really big here in the next few minutes, this is going to be crucial.
Black Snow with the tackle. This might be it for Jason Waterfalls here. Big Uranagi from Black Snow. Going into the Dragon Sleeper. And that will do it. STO winning one of their two matches tonight against the Bankrollers.
Now, if you're Hold a Dark Horse, I mean, STO, he really saw something pretty cool there from Black Snow. I mean, the first match, Nightmare lost it for him, but in the second match, Black Snow wins the match for them.
Yeah, definitely. And, Black Snow getting a little bit of revenge on the Bankrollers as well. Maybe make his point a little clear that the Bankrollers probably should have paid him when they said they were going to. This is just what happens when you don't.
Yeah, I think that they're going to have to start finally, sending those checks out to guys that they owe in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, which I know is a few.
Oh, yeah, it's a few wrestlers, it's a few refs, it's a few me. I haven't gotten paid. Ricky, if you're listening, please send me my check. Thank you.
I do want to take a second. We'll just have a small moment of silence. That was Jason Waterfall's win streak that has unfortunately ended. Anyway, on to some winners. We have the tag team title match here tonight. Zeus and Mark of Supreme taking on the Exotic Husbands in a match that could not have higher stakes.
Yes, you are completely right, GG. This is our first ever Bras versus Belts match. Supreme and Zeus coming out as the champions here. Last event, they were taken to the absolute limit by Bimson and Hamilton. Normally Supreme knocks out their competition or pins them in 15 minutes. These guys went almost 30 minutes. And the Exotic Husbands wanted a rematch. But Supreme wouldn't accept it unless they put something on the line. So they put up their bras, the bras that Mandy Hamilton and Dong wear. I'm not sure if Dong's is completely on the line here, but I know Mandy's is. And folks, that is almost like belts to them. That is their absolute favorite thing in the world. I almost think they'd rather have that than be champions here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. That is how much this match means to them.
Yeah, I mean, for the Exotic Husbands, I think, for Supreme, this is just another day at the job. Let's go in, get it done, and leave. But for the Exotic Husbands, they could be leaving here with the belt around their waist and the bras across their back. So let's hope they can keep it going here tonight, as honestly, I think they might have a pretty decent shot at taking down Supreme.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. They took Supreme to the limit last time, and this time with some fire under them, the loss of those bras, there might be a little more there. They might just get that little last inch there, that little 0.1 on the count. This might be exactly what they get there.
I have a feeling, I know that Mandy is the one in this match that might potentially lose something, but, maybe Lavernius will switch from the unitard to maybe just some trunks. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll also see what happens with the bra of Don Michaels. The bra initially adopted, I would like to say, after wrestling. Oh my gosh, was it Lucifer Velasco or was it?
I think it was Lucifer, or it wasn't Orville. I think it was
Lucifer Velasco.
And folks, yes, to let you know, Earl Dipshit, actually getting a little bit tired of some of Double Dutch's calls, is calling this match.
Yes, folks, that is Earl Dipshit in the ring himself. Ascended from being a ref to being commissioner of Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Now back in the ref's uniform, a very special ref's uniform here, wearing his own sort of bra to commemorate this match, and maybe showing how he is going to ref this match. I'm not quite sure there, DG.
Yeah, I think he's seen that the Slaughterhouse has some characters in it, and I think he decided he needs to be one, as he's kind of got a little bit of top action going himself. I wouldn't necessarily call it a bra, but it is a nice little t-shirt cut up a little.
That is true. Maybe I'm taking it a step too far, assuming that it is a bra or a bra homage. It could just be a really sweet cut-off t-shirt.
Either way, the sleeve being cut off, pretty badass. Earl Dipshit, you did a great job this time. Let's call it a good match.
Right now, speaking of a good match, these two really taking it to each other. No one getting the advantage. Both of them knocking them off their feet. That was a tongue twister. I think I got it out, though. What I'm saying is both of these people are beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, and pins galore here in the first 2 minutes. At least 3 pins already, as both wrestlers are kind of making their presence known and letting the other team know, like, hey, when it comes time, you're staying down.
Yeah, I think that might be the key to how much Supreme has won here. All those frequent pins, all these frequent tags. I think they kind of know that's what's up.
And Lavernius, you got to think the size in this match, the size difference. This is no Malachi Hades, versus Nightmare. I mean, the size difference here is about as massive as it gets. But look right there, that agility might pay off in his favor.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens when you have less muscle mass. Speaking of Hades had some crazy moves because they had less to move around in the ring. That's Bimson right there, able to duck that move and hit one of his own, using Mello's own weight against him to knock him down with that arm drag. Bimson is the smallest person here, definitely not the weakest.
Yeah, and he's really showing that so far here. So he's kind of making Mello, work for this right now. I mean, he's kind of laying an offensive, class on us. I mean, he's kind of showing, Mello, like, I know you usually do this to people, but this is what I'm going to do to you here today.
Yeah, all these shots to the head, that bulldog right there, Bimson is really taking it to Mello for sure. Getting Mello into the friendly corner too. Mandy getting out to make sure Zeus doesn't interfere. Shots to the gut, that elbow to the back of the head. Bimson just wailing on Mark Mello.
Just that amateur wrestling background really coming through.
Yes, a good strategy here, trying to keep Mello in his own corner as much as possible in case he needs to make the quick tag. But it looks like Mello might try to be moving out of it, ducking under Bimson, showing some agility of his own twice, running to the ropes, not being able to get anything going though.
Kind of ruining what potential they had right there in something big.
Going for the roll through Northern Lights suplex. God, that was a very high class move.
Yeah, and honestly, if Zeus hadn't got there quick enough, it was going past the 2 count there. I'm not sure what might have happened just now had he not made it in time.
Yeah, sorry, I was laughing at Earl Dipshit's speed running around the ring there, making sure that he sees every single thing that happens here. A welcome change from Double Dutch Doug Douglas's 3 IQ level reffing.
Yeah, and Earl Dipshit, it looks like, he's got a little mic on himself. He's telling us that is not a wig, so he will not be fielding any questions about it after the match. That is, in fact, his actual hair. Please stop calling it a wig. He has apparently been on Twitter in the time he's been in the ring. This is going great so far.
I didn't think it was a wig until he said something, and now I really think it's a wig. But turning our attention back to the match here at hand, Zeus finally taking over, getting Supreme some offensive maneuvers in that shoulder tackle, that scoop slam. Now showing off some of his speed with a huge spear on Bimson.
And I think this is the best matchup you can possibly get. Let Mandy get in there and let them work over Zeus, honestly. Bimson has been doing great against Mello, but I think it's vice versa on the other hand, and they really playing to their strengths here, showing that, acting like they're a tag team that's been around for a while. They're really showing it here.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. Mandy let Bimson take as much heat as Bimson could handle before they got in the ring and took over. Absolutely letting Bimson work as long as he needed to. Great strategy, and now Mandy is fresh, wrestling 2 people who have kind of been through the ringer already. And you can see there, Mandy trying to take it to the ground and really wear them down, work on that head that Bimson's been working on for so long. Great strategy.
Yeah, but Zeus is definitely not going to stay down for long. I mean, and Mandy has been putting on a great show so far here, but as Lavernius will just watch his teammate in a headlock.
Oh yeah, if we've seen one thing from Supreme, it is absolutely their ability to kick out of anything. The look there, the F5 from Mandy Hamilton. Not even sure we've seen Mandy's finisher here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but I believe that was it. Not able to get much going after. I believe I said F5. It's actually the FU. Sorry, I'm getting word from the back from Don Michaels himself that I called that maneuver wrong. But, still a good move either way.
Now they'll go for the pin as Lavernius will try to stop Mello from getting there in time, but 2 count. I mean, they're getting them down. Like, Supreme has never had this much of a shot. Like, they have been completely giving it to Supreme so far here in this match.
Yeah, normally it's just absolute domination. Supreme just makes their opponents look like absolute garbage, but this time it's been very back and forth. And, this match has been going on for almost 13 minutes. Normally Supreme is very dominant at this time, but I don't know who is going to win here.
Looks like Mandy will land right outside of the ring in front of us. Days trying to get back into the ring where the action is. Lavernius holding his own in their stead.
Ooh, oh my god, I'm blanking on the move. I wanted to say X-Plex, which isn't completely right. Big move from Mandy there, though, driving the head of Zeus onto the mat, forcing Zeus to make the tag while Bimson follows. Great strategy there.
Yeah, and this is obviously the matchup we've seen earlier. Mandy has been in there with Zeus, Mello's been in there with Lavernius, and I think that's what the crowd has enjoyed the most. That's what we've enjoyed the most. Both of these, they just have set themselves apart. Like, this is who I need to fight, this is who you need to fight, and both teams look like they've agreed to it.
Yeah, totally. That's how a lot of these tag matches break down here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, GG. It's these rivalries that kind of break out within the matches themselves. Bimson going up top, looking for a crossbody. Looks like he got enough of it for it to be effective. But Mello with the Pele kick right on the top of the dome of Bimson. Wow. Oh, quick roll-up.
Zeus struggles with his own feet there, trying to get in the way of it and stop it from happening. Another pin.
Oh my gosh.
Quick. Another almost 3 count. Earl Dipshit working out that shoulder here tonight.
That Olympic-style slam from Bimson really proving to be a difference maker here. But another Pele kick from Mello. Will he make the tag, or will he continue to wrestle Bimson? Looks like he's going to keep wrestling Bimson. Don't know if I agree with that call.
And Bimson
knocking him down. Ankle pick
back in the corner.
Zeus missing a lot of these kicks. Don't really know what's up there.
Blows to the head is what I'm guessing. He's kind of losing it.
The giant swing. Zeus getting Bimson up for the jackhammer there, making sure that Bimson is down and cannot break up that giant spin. Well, Vernius has to be dizzy as hell now.
You're doing a great job of not tapping out during that spin. I can't even imagine what he was going through.
Oh my gosh, spinning, getting all the blood to his head again. I cannot imagine what Bimson is feeling. He absolutely needs to tag out here.
Yeah, he must be dizzy as hell, honestly. What a move. Mello is just non-stop. He has finally hit his stride, and Bimson is paying for it.
Yeah, big schoolboy driver there. Bimson going for the flapjack. Haven't seen a good flapjack in a minute. That was great. But Bimson, I thought he had something there. Getting back suplex into the senton. Mello showing why his team is called Supreme here. The big chop. He's chopping him. I cannot believe what I'm seeing here, GG.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like Supreme has completely turned this match around. Bimson has to do something here to come out with the W. And in their corner, it's really not going to pay dividends at all. He's got to get back to Mandy.
Northern Lights suplex, not enough to get the 3, but still very effective at making this match break down. That's what you've got to do. You've got to break those flows of offense. You've got to just change it up a little bit.
Zeus, obviously not the legal man, will not count as a submission. Lavernius just needs to get out of this move. Mello just going to ask his teammate, like, hey, can I get back to what I was doing? And he'll just get right back to Mello's head here.
Those rabbit punches into the backdrop suplex. Bimson opting not to tag out. I don't know what the strategy is here, but Bimson is back on top.
I mean, I don't know how long this could last, though. I have to feel like you have to get this tag in. You have to get it in or get him back to your corner where Mandy can be nearby where you can get help if you need it.
Yeah, release German suplex there, and this is what's happening. The schoolboy driver, Mello, able to make the tags call. This might be it for Bimson here, GG. I don't know what is going to happen here.
Yeah, E.T., I think his pride's going to be his downfall this time. If he had just, tagged him in, get a chance as he dodges out of the way of Zeus, takes down Mello.
Rolls him up.
Corner. Under the rope. Got a chance here. Mandy will get a blow in there to kind of stop the action for a second.
This crowd is on their feet, GG. They are loving the Exotic Husbands in this match.
Another pin in the corner with Mello right there is not going to work out in his favor. I don't know what Lavernius needs to do to understand that is a fact. That is not an opinion. That is what is currently happening.
Finally moving to the center of the ring. This may have been what Bimson wanted the whole time here. But the...
Got to get there. You got to pick
it up. Gets the 3. Mandy not able to get up the pin for the Exotic Husbands. Folks, those bras are coming right off.
Yeah, you gotta hope that's not really gonna anger too many other people in your faction.
Folks, they went 23 minutes. That was some of the most action I have ever seen in a Slaughterhouse wrestling ring. A great showing by both teams.
Yeah, it's really sad we couldn't see more from Mandy. Every time they were in the ring, they were making a difference. They were really giving it to Zeus. But what we saw was that mismatch. The mismatch that the Exotic Husbands noticed early on. They noticed the mismatch and how well Lavernius was working against Mello and how well Mandy was working against Zeus. Lavernius, I'm not too sure what's going on with the guy, but it seems like he thought he could do it all when they really had a great plan worked out early on, and it seemed to be their downfall in this match. Fantastic match. I think an instant classic here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. And we've seen a number of great matches from Exotic Husbands here in the tag team division. Dong and Dank Poopstain themselves have had a great time so far in this in this league, every time that they've had a tag match, even if it was against each other, against Supreme for the tag team titles themselves, and they have made great showings. And in the semi-main event of the night, we have Victor Hill of Supreme coming in and taking on the man, the myth, the legume, Walnut here for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. I don't know what to expect from this match. Obviously, this is a one fall. This is not a hardcore match. Walnut has to follow the rules. He has to abide by whatever Earl Dipshit says in the ring. And he's got his work cut out for him as Victor Hill has kind of been tearing through the Slaughterhouse Wrestling landscape over the past few pay-per-views.
Yeah, absolutely, Rick. Sorry, you're not Rick. You are GG Island. Absolutely GG Island. Vint has been on an absolute tear here recently. Running through every single one of his competitors and running through 4 at once at the last event. Walnut's good, but I don't know if he's that good.
Yeah, E.T., I know you're excited for that main event here tonight, but and I know Ricky Big Buck's coming over here really threw us for a loop there. I mean, I've still got this chair. I'd be pretty confused too, honestly. And with Walnut in the ring, we're about to get even more confused. I will say that.
I got slapped in the back of the head. I might have a concussion right now, honestly. But folks, we are getting into this big scoop slam from Walnut to start the match off. Really giving it to Vint here right off the bat. Earl Dipshit, boot scoot boogieing right on hard cam. Yeah, buddy, you should just go for it.
Yeah, the commissioner is clearly having a fun time back in this ring, making a character of himself, trying to be the most charismatic person in a match full of charisma already.
Oh, and look at Walnut running so slowly. We've seen so many super heavyweights here tonight and cruiserweights moving with such speed, including Earl Dipshit. The Walnut taking his time, moving his mass as slowly as he wants to.
Yeah, both these guys have a lot of muscle, a lot of mass they can throw around. I don't think they really need to go at it too quick. I think they can take this match slow and just beat the hell out of each other and just see what happens. As Walnut is going to start in early, just going after that head of Victor Hill.
Ground and pound there. One of the things Walnut does best, just not letting go of those punches, those holds, those elbows, making sure his opponents stay down, and he's using scoop slams like that to get them there.
Yeah, not too good of a showing so far here for Victor Hill. He needs to get something going against Walnut. It is early on, but we have seen Walnut finish these matches early on.
Yeah, we're right on 3 minutes. This is, Chicago Cowboys' first match against Walnut level. If he gets a minute 4, he's past that first benchmark.
Yeah, it seems like we need to start gauging all of Walnut's matches by how long they last, as he'll get a nice grind shot there to Victor Hill.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Earl Dipshit giving a little bit of favoritism to the champion of the Exotic Husbands.
And Walnut going for that running slap, but Victor going with a slap of his own as Walnut goes right back to the head of Victor Hill. And these slaps being traded back and forth are something else.
Oh my gosh. Victor Hill lift above his head, gorilla press style, into the Indian death lock there, just wrenching on those legs. That might be the secret to getting Walnut down, tearing him down from his legs.
That's not something we've seen anybody try, I will say that much. We've seen his head attacked, we've seen some blood coming from underneath that mask. We assume what is a normal, natural head underneath that mask. Again, we have no idea. Janet hasn't even seen it, I will say that much. But Victor Hill might be going for the legs, a new strategy, but seeing those muscles on those thighs, I just don't see how that's going to work out in his favor, as a running slap by Walnut will take Victor Hill down to the mat.
Oh, there's that laugh you love so much. I know you love to hear it.
I hate it every time. It gets worse and worse, and I know he can hear me. I don't know how, but I know he can hear me.
Taunting you at commentary, but Victor Hill, your new favorite wrestler, getting a lariat and an atomic drop in, stringing together some offense, finally surpassing that 6-minute mark of the second Cowboy match. Will he make it to 12 minutes where Damon Sky took Walnut? We will see.
Yeah, he's got a great start here. This offensive series he's been laying on Walnut has been going great as he's attacking just legs, gut, chest, everything he can get to on Walnut.
Good strategy there, creating some space and getting some room to breathe. Big power bomb there. Almost takes the champion out at minute 7. Walnut going for a pin of his own, the first of this match. Not getting as far as Vint got, though.
If Victor Hill can keep this up,
oh my god, that was the king of burning hearts. He has taken down so many competitors with that move, and I don't know why he dragged him further along the ropes.
Don't do it under the ropes. If Walnut will get you back in these head blows, you've got
the stomach claw. Stomach claw. We've seen him take out competitors with that. Will Vint be able to power out?
I mean, he's got enough gut there to hopefully get him through this hole. As he'll turn it around on Walnut and take him off.
Spinning, Razor's Edge style airplane spin, taking Walnut for a ride. Tossing him down.
Not like that either. He's not having a fun time. This heel goes just right back to the head of Victor Hill.
Laughing in Victor Hill's face. Jesus Christ, slap for good measure, and then the palm. The palm to the center of the head. Walnut running through all of his finishing maneuvers here early in this, well, midway through this match, maybe late in this match. I don't even know it.
We've got to throw everything out here at Victor Hill. We've never seen Walnut go through this much.
Oh my god, wheelbarrow slam right to Walnut's head. Flipping him over. Will Vint be able to do it? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new Slaughterhouse Wrestling champion. Victor Hill of Supreme, beating Walnut in 10 minutes, doing what no other man here can do. Folks, we got a new champion.
Something I never thought in all my days I would see in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. You dream about it, you hope about it, you think about it, and Victor Hill has made Supreme a new Slaughterhouse Wrestling champion has been named, and Supreme now owns every single belt in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. The hardcore title belt is up for grabs later tonight, but as of right now, they own all the gold in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Truth in advertising, PG. Supreme is supreme here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. There is no other way to put it. These guys really, really went at it tonight. Vint proving that he is potentially the best wrestler here. Walnut finally giving an inch to somebody. My God, I cannot believe we just saw that.
It's something in all my days. I mean, we've seen so many great competitors take on Walnut, and none have come out victorious. But Victor Hill has done the unthinkable here tonight, withstanding Walnut's moves. We've seen him take on bigger men than Victor Hill, faster men than Victor Hill, stronger men than Victor Hill, but Victor Hill had what it takes here tonight. I don't know what it is, but it is something in Supreme that they have got that the rest of Slaughterhouse now has to pay attention to them.
Folks, there's only one way to put it. Only one way. The nut has been cracked. Folks, that's not even our main event. We have one more match left, if you can believe it. We have a light tube match between Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi of the Bankrollers versus Tyler Blades. We have been seeing these two in action for weeks now, working their way up our first ever hardcore title tournament to crown our first ever hardcore champion. And tonight, we see it all end. One man is going to hopefully walk out of this as champion. With a match like this, I'm not even sure. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be brutal. These two are two of the best wrestlers that we have here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, at least as far as hardcore wrestling goes. Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi not even being able to buy himself a win for weeks, switched up his entire game plan, finally got a win. And Tyler Blades, a Slaughterhouse original, making a big return, entering the tournament as sort of a underdog, sort of like an undercard pick, someone you probably wouldn't have bet money on to win this. But finally, making his statement, working his way up the tournament, making it all the way to the finals here in this light tube match. Folks, this is Slaughterhouse 7. This has been one of the best shows I think I've ever commentated. I think we just got to get this main event underway if everything's ready. And you know, I've done my time on the indies. I've been in a lot of hardcore matches myself, and let me tell you folks, if you've never seen these light tubes in action, brace yourselves. This is some of the bloodiest action we are going to see in wrestling. Those things are sharp, those things explode, and those things are going to hurt. And right there, Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi slamming Tyler Blades onto the barbed wire baseball bat, already using the environment to his advantage.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure who really took the brunt of that. I'm not sure if it was Ricky or if it was Tyler himself, but both men right next to that light tube when it exploded. Hopefully we see a little bit more of the weapon used in this match, but it looks like Ricky's got a little bit of a bleed going on early.
Yes, Ricky already bleeding. I saw an explosion as well. I'm not sure if there was a stray light tube down there or what. But God, both of these men already hurt. And Ricky showing some good ring awareness here, coming out with the wrist tape and with a shirt on to make sure the light tubes don't cut any of his arteries in his wrists or anywhere on his chest at all. Really great strategy there. Exposing the legs a little bit though. Not sure if he's worried about that.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to kind of keep it fair with Tyler Blades exposing a little bit more skin than him in this match, but I think he just wanted to protect that chest. You know, that's I know he has a photo shoot with Vogue coming up this week that he was telling me about, but I don't know how much it's really going to pay off if he doesn't have that hardcore title.
Ooh, Ricky missing the drop kick and landing on the light tube. Great ring awareness from Tyler Blades here, leading him to that spot, and Tyler able to capitalize with a strong lariat there too.
And you got to be worried you do not want to get thrown into the corner in these matches. Those light tube boards are just waiting for somebody to go right into them, as Tyler Blades really hasn't gotten too much blood on himself just yet.
Yeah, those light tubes will cut you up. People have almost died from those going the wrong way. Both of these men need to watch out here.
Trading blows in the middle of this ring. They're going to make sure this hardcore match, everyone gets their money's worth here.
Ricky getting the advantage there, topping it off with an elbow. Tyler Blades will reverse the suplex attempt into one of his own. Both men spilling out on some of the weapons here. God, that's gotta hurt.
A face rake real quick by Ricky Big Bucks. Tyler Blades will reverse it again onto the scythe. Hopefully that not impale him anywhere.
Well, he's got the shirt on. You know, smart call there. Tyler Blades looking like he wants to go up top, but not able to because of the board.
Yeah, not as much awareness as I think he'd like to think he has in this one.
Oh!
Lands outside on the barbed wire. That'll definitely get some blood on him.
Folks, I'm not even sure we explained this. There are barbed wire and landmines on the outside, but sadly, him being put out there means he can bring the sledgehammer in.
Sledgehammer not used, though, I will say. It was dropped pretty quick in favor throwing Ricky Big Bucks into these ropes.
Ooh, choke slam there from Tyler Blades, Black Razor, and then a headbutt from Ricky, opening up that cut even more. God, sacrificing his own body just to get closer to winning this.
Yeah, both guys have the right idea, trying to get them into the rope, get them into the corner, hit those light tubes, do something.
Smart move there with the figure forelock in the middle of the ring, though, just trying to wear Blades out. Oh, almost going out there. Blades stops himself, but cannot stop himself when headbutted.
And Ricky will take a much-needed break, just catch his breath up in the center of the ring, as Tyler Blades also will take a second to catch his breath before he comes back in.
Really taking here with that back drop. And big punch to the face there, the running punch. Oh no, Ricky tried this in the last hardcore match, and it didn't really seem to do much. Is Earl Dipshit gonna fall for this trick?
I'm not too sure. I think Dipshit has kind of caught wind of Ricky Big Bucks' trickery over the last few hardcore matches. Still, you know, as well as he's been doing in these matches, obviously still a little bit of a disconnect about what a hardcore match actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I was giving Double Dutch a lot of shit for standing there slack-jawed every time anything happened. But that was some bad reffing on Earl's part. I'm just going to say it. I don't care if he cuts my paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, he barely pays us anything anyway, so I think we're going to be all right on that one. Ricky Big Bucks will just kind of let Tyler Blades get up on his own and kind of give him a chance to throw it down in the middle of the ring and get the pin on him.
Black Razor's Edge almost getting the 3 count center of the ring. Basement dropkick though. Ricky looking to put something together here, maybe wanting to use those light tubes at this point in the match.
Yeah, and it looks like he finally landed that dropkick after trying it many times, and there he goes again.
And the second one, really getting the most of that dropkick here, DG.
Yeah, he's really going to need to be careful. They're getting dangerously close to those corner light tubes.
Oh, Ricky takes it to the face.
And Ricky Big Bucks has taken some hits in this match, but that might be the most dangerous one. He is now covered in blood.
And a second Black Razor's Edge. Will this be it, GG?
That might be it for him.
No!
It's out! How does he do it? The resiliency shown by Ricky Big Bucks.
Standing up first and taking a running bulldog. Ricky showing that all that time at the Big Money Gym has really paid off.
Face rake with Tyler Blades there. Into the light tubes again. I'm guessing he'll go for that pin again here.
Dragging him over the barbed wire baseball bat as well.
And Tyler Blades just completely in control of this match. Maybe getting the 3 count here. No! Somehow, Ricky Big Bucks back up, getting his second win.
Atomic drop, not able to do it. Ricky hopefully looking to use those light tubes, the barbed wire to his advantage again, hitting the basement drop kick. Going for a 4th, but it's evaded by Tyler Blades.
Into another light tube in the corner. Oh! Out of the way at the last second. Tyler Blades takes a face full of that broken glass that Ricky Big Bucks has become very accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, no light tube explosion there, but definitely a lot of wood and definitely a lot of broken glass. That still hurts a lot. Tyler not showing it though.
Yeah, Ricky's got to do something here to turn this match around. As he goes for the move again, Earl Dipshit probably extremely confused at this point.
Oh my God. Earl Dipshit forgetting the rules to the hardcore tournament, falling for Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi's trick. Folks, we have a hardcore champion.
I don't think I've ever seen a champion win that way, but it looks like Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi, there might be a good bit of arguing backstage here, but it looks like Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi comes away with the win.
Folks, you're a winner by disqualification in a light tube match with weapons all around the ring, barbed wire, landmines, into a disqualification. Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi is your inaugural hardcore champion. I can't believe it. I think I don't want to say this. I don't want to be accusatory. They're called the Bankrollers for a reason. Was Earl Dipshit paid off? That is the question here.
Honestly, I'm not too sure. We're talking to old Dipshit at the ringside right now, trying to figure this out to see, what he thinks we should do. Give us just 1 second as we kind of get this sorted out and kind of see where we need to go from here. I mean, I really don't have many words to kind of to say like what we just saw. I mean, it looks like, talking to the commissioner, it looks like they're going to do a rematch next pay-per-view is what it looks like, folks. So Ricky Big Bucks has not come away with the win, but they will be doing a rematch at the next pay-per-view. About as crazy as can be in Slaughterhouse Wrestling here tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens when your commissioner is also your ref. Commissioner Lewis is standing by referee. Commissioner Dipshit is standing by referee Dipshit's call. Folks, next show, Slaughterhouse 8, we will be seeing a rematch in another stipulation, no disqualifications. Earl Dipshit will finally learn the rules to this goddamn match. But as it stands, Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi is the inaugural Slaughterhouse Hardcore title champion. And I don't know if he has to be proud of that win. I was gonna say he should be proud. The Bankrollers should be proud. I don't know if I would be proud of that win necessarily.
Words really can't describe. What we saw the first time, we kind of laughed and joked because we were just like, well, what's he doing? This is a hardcore match, and we've seen him do it before. We've seen him do it again. We did not expect Earl Dipshit to give the call to him, though.
No, not in a million years did I think our Slaughterhouse Wrestling Hardcore Championship, our tournament based around violence and blood and anything happening, would end with a disqualification due to the most underhanded basic professional wrestling trick in the book, tricking the referee into thinking that your opponent used a foreign object. I hate to say it, I just want to go back to the did Ricky pay off Earl Dipshit? He knew that Earl was going to be reffing this match. He knew that this was going to happen. But, I just don't know. I just don't know. That's something we have to consider.
Yeah, I mean, the Bankrollers, knowing how they operate, I can't be surprised. It seems the most likely thing in this point. I feel like, next pay-per-view, we're going to have to see a match not reffed by Earl Dipshit, a complete outside source, someone new, someone fresh that can actually see this match for what it is and not for their wallet.
Oh, of course. We got to get somebody in there who can't be swayed by the Bankrollers' pocketbooks. And they're so rich, I don't know who we're going to find. I don't know how we're going to find them. But I know that we will find someone to actually ref that match down the middle. And folks, that will do it for Slaughterhouse Wrestling 7, excuse me, don't know why I said 12. Slaughterhouse Wrestling 7 Meat Sweats. We thank you for tuning in. We thank you for letting us into your homes for a couple hours to entertain you. And what a night that was. 2 new champions here in Slaughterhouse. The Exotic Husbands no longer have their bras. A complete night of just shocking surprises. PG, what was the most shocking to you?
Honestly, I mean, it's got to be Walnut. I mean, who thought that the person to crack him would be Victor Hill? I mean, a fantastic match, and just like Walnut's other matches, under 11 minutes, like under a certain amount of time. We've seen him defend so many times in a short amount of time. We've seen him taken to the ropes multiple times, but Victor Hill just put up enough offense in a row, to get it done. Like, he figured out the way to do it is just lay unrelenting hurt on Walnut, and he came away the new Slaughterhouse Wrestling champion. Yeah,
absolutely. I am totally shocked. I thought Vint may have been able to do it, but I wasn't 100%. We've seen Walnut run through Chicago Cowboy, Jabroni, Damon Sky, multiple other people in tag matches. He gets the win a lot in the tag matches that he's in for the Husbands. And I didn't know if Vint will be able to basically be better than all of those wrestlers, because when you're faced with a situation like that, you have to take into account every person that Walnut has beat and think, is Vint better than all of those people? And I think the answer is yes. And I think he proved it tonight. It's shocking, it's surprising, it's not what I expected. But now that we're in this new era of Slaughterhouse Wrestling, I'm kind of glad to see it.
Yeah, E.T., honestly, you couldn't have said it better. We saw a lot of firsts here tonight. We saw Supreme become the Supreme faction, and the Bankrollers do it in the weirdest way, finally get their belt, in the weirdest way, something I don't think we expected to see, and I think is going to be very, very questioned, if not just an asterisk next to this championship. He might not even get the championship. We'll have to see what Commissioner Dipshit decides once someone sits him down with the rulebook and explains what just happened in the ring.
Yes, I think Dipshit is going to stand by his own call for now, but there is a big asterisk there. And we're going to see at least one rematch, maybe a series. I don't know where this is going to go, but I know that Tyler Blades is going to get his hands on Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi for that title once again. And you know what? I'm glad that Commissioner Dipshit is standing by his call. I believe referees have supreme lay of the land, but I also believe that was some supreme bullshit, and Tyler Blades should murder Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi and Commissioner Dipshit.
I think that's something we could very likely see in the next few days.
Definitely, definitely. Well, folks, we thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here with us. This was a night of insane action. I'm already hearing word that we are going to be potentially seeing Don't Go Jason Waterfalls versus Lavernius Bimson at the next show. We will be seeing Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi take on Tyler Blades once again to decide who is the real champion, and we will see what else happens here in the Slaughterhouse. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.